Hello, hello! Welcome back to Let Supreme Ghost Thief Gold. Yet another video in this wonderful series. Oh, I love replaying this game. And today we're going to play not one of my favorite missions, but it's one that is growing on me slightly. It's Undercover. So let's reload the game at the end of Sonic the Caverns and watch the briefing, and then we'll get going.
Getting the talisman of air will be an interesting challenge, but I'll need it if I want to get the eye for Constantine. It's well hidden inside the city's hammer temple, so I'll have to do some scouting around. Problem is, the place is fully active day and night. Not even I could stay undetected for very long. Well, they say that the best place to hide a letter is on the mantelpiece. With that in mind, I'll be going in by the front door, dressed as a Hammerite novice. That should be perfect, since novices aren't allowed to speak while on the temple grounds. My contacts can get me a novice's pass to get me through the gate. Once inside, I'll be free to take my time, explore the place thoroughly, and find the talisman, as long as I don't do anything violent or get caught somewhere I shouldn't be. Because as the new arrival, I'll be the first person they'll suspect if anything goes wrong.
Okay, so Undercover. Posing as a Hammerite novice, present your credentials to the guard at the gate and enter the Hammerite temple. Search the temple and discover where the talisman of air is kept. When you find it, take it. Oh, and while you're looting the place, steal a hammer's holy first hammer from their reliquary. In addition to stealing the talismans, steal 2,400 worth of valuables while you're in the temple. Don't kill any of the Hammerites while you're on the job. Once you've achieved your other objectives, get out of the temple and back to the city streets. Wonderful. We will not end up entering the temple through the main entrance like here. You don't have to. As long as you get on the temple grounds, you will check off this objective. Good news, this mission can be Supreme Ghosted. It can even be perfect Supreme Ghosted, which I want to thank Tavis Whitsitt for, and his playlist, his playthrough from a few years back. I had dismissed taking one loot item after setting off the alarm, but he showed me that that is possible to do, and I have done it myself after seeing that video. So we should hopefully be able to perfect Supreme Ghost this one. This is naturally a very different mission from any of the other ones, because you can roam the premises unhindered, pretty much as you want, until you take the talisman. Or unless you go into areas you're not supposed to be in, which there are a few rooms, or use any weapons. You can't do that. I said originally that it hasn't been my favorite mission ever, still not is, but I think it's better now than I thought it was back in the day. I do appreciate the change up of not having to worry too much about getting spotted in certain areas. But there's a couple of tricks we can do to make it a lot easier for us. And of course, after we take the talisman, you probably know that, everybody is going to be on high alert. So it's going to be difficult for us to move around at all at that point. So it's very much contrasting the beginning of the mission there. Now, We can't buy anything, and we're not going to. We don't need to. We are carrying the scroll, the genuine letter of introduction for a Hammerite novice. This should get you past the guard at the gate. So I will show you how to get past the guard, but I will not take that entrance into the temple grounds, and I will explain why that is. Save here and go. We're actually carrying a flash bomb here and the scroll. Do not have any rope arrows. Make note of that. I don't think there is any rope arrows at all available in the mission either. When I think about it, I don't think we should need any rope arrows here anyway. Okay, looking at the map here, there's some streets outside, but there's really nothing of interest there. There's nowhere to go in, nothing to pick up. This is the first floor, or the upper floor, if you will. Here's the front gate, and I'll go inside and then I'll show you the map again and talk a little bit about what's going to happen here.
Present thy credentials, novice.
So let's read this then. As approved by His Eminence, the High Priest Markander, we deliver unto you this novice under the standard agreement of service. The novice is sent with full status and training as such, should serve with humility and vigor to the best of his skills. He will endure a standard 3-year contract of service, at the end of which he will be considered for indoctrination as the elevated acolyte. The novice has been instructed in the rules and strictures of the order, has sworn his warrants to be silent in his vigils, and knows to maintain the marked privacies as indicated by the standard inverted red hammer sigil. That's interesting. Please remit periodic evaluations of his conduct as warranted or at 6-month intervals. May the hammer fall on the unrighteous. Officially, Brother Sachelman, or Sackelman.
Open the gate!
There we go. So we can...
Go on, thou. No. Alarm! Stop!
Okay, so I was apparently not supposed to close that gate. I did not know that.
Present thy credentials, novice. Open the gate!
Okay. Let's go ahead and read this. In light of recent break-ins and cranks left, all temple patrols will be doubled until further notice. Alright, so we are now at the upper floor in the main foyer. There are 2 barracks on the sides. There's no we have no interest in going in there really. And then there's one doorway here. Or door rather. If we go in here, we get a message.
The rules do not permit novices in the barracks, as thou should well know. Be off.
And you can get another message in here.
Thou should not be in the barracks, brother. Remember that novices are not permitted.
So you get a couple of warnings here telling you not to go in areas you're not supposed to. So there's no inverted red hammer symbol here, but there are a couple of other places. We also can take loot. Here's a piece of loot, and that is the piece of loot I talked about. Being very difficult to take after all the hammers are in full alert. Now, in this mission, there are a total of 5 conversations around the temple grounds that, if triggered, will then release the 2 hammers that are involved in the conversations. So there are 10 hammers in total that would then potentially start patrolling if you trigger all 5 of those conversations early. The longer we can wait for those conversations to be triggered, the easier our trip around the mission will be, especially on the bottom floor. So on the top you have a main chapel in the far upper region here. You have the reliquary and you have the library, and then you have a couple of other rooms here on the side. You can access the outer garden from a balcony here or down to the cemetery, and a garden on the east side. So you can get up here as well. I don't think you can get up on this side, at least not easily. The lower floor has then a couple of priest's quarters. You're not allowed to be in any of those rooms. If you're spotted, you'll get caught, as if you're hostile. And then you have the high priest room, which is a super important room in the middle here. You have a dining room, a storage room, and then I said the graveyard and the garden, and a couple of novices' quarters up here, which are unimportant, and a sparring room. The sparring room will take you down to the catacombs, actually. There's stairs down there. But there's also a basement that you can access with a kitchen, some storage rooms, and the Inquisitor's room, with a dungeon and a torture chamber and everything. And this, I guess, is the catacombs, but it isn't specified. Okay, so we want to wait with triggering any of those conversations. And if I had entered that door, then there is a conversation that would have triggered that would have caused 2 hammers to start patrolling. So we're not going to do that. We're going to enter a different way to avoid those patrols. We want to... mantle up here. Huh. That is weird. Okay, I'm not sure why I can't do this, because this should be possible. Yeah. Just have to get it higher up, I guess. So now we're actually right above the barracks and the main entrance here. Okay. Now, I do believe that in T-Fix they added a sloped roof here. But in the original there was no roof there, so you couldn't traverse via that, so I'm not going to do that. But we can jump over here without taking damage. We got a mantle, land and a mantle here. There, and we're good to go. Now, similarly, if you go onto the balcony there, you're going to trigger a conversation in the reliquary, which is through that door, so we're not going to go through there either. We are instead going to head down into the catacombs and get a couple of pieces of loot. So we're going to basically go around the premises and take all the pieces of loot that we can before triggering anything that has to do with the talisman. Another conversation out here. That we don't want to trigger. And there's one more out in the graveyard. And 2 more upstairs. Now, there are a few pieces of loot that you can't take without busting ghosts. There's one here up on this coffin. That one we can't take now. We got to take that later. But we're going to take everything else that we can take anyway. So, base worth 100. Yeah, we can't nudge him forward, so I won't want to do that. So as long as he doesn't see you take anything.
Thou art not granted this place.
Okay. I guess I'll just do this. Take that one. Okay, you can go past them if you walk up on that ledge. So we got 2 vases here. There's a total of 4 vases that we need to take. Here's one. There should be one vase down here. Okay, we're gonna head up here now. Now we are arriving in the basement. We're basically arriving from this end now. In the basement. Okay, so in here we should have 3 bottles of wine. 2, 3. 550. Oh yeah, and there's also... it isn't included in the game, but there's an unused text, a tip that was never implemented, that says, novices aren't allowed to carry personal weapons except on campaign, so you'd better keep yours under your robes unless you need to use them. So it seems like it was never even allowed originally to even draw your weapon, to do this. That is allowed in this mission version now. But you just can't use it. You can't swing your weapon or draw an arrow. Then you get caught. So I'm not sure why they removed that one. Anyway. So we got 550. We really don't have to be that worried here. 2 cheeses in the kitchen, 3 apples, and a carrot. And there should be a book up here too. Terrence, we're almost done converting the old kitchens into the new treasury. All the kitchen stores have now been moved up from downstairs. Some of the church valuables have been moved down. Work should be completed within the week. Noman. Good, so then we know that there's valuables in the downstairs kitchen. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to start heading into some of the priest quarters here. The map is pretty good, but it doesn't show the breakdown of the rooms here. But this is sort of the middle area. So going north on either side, you can access a couple of priest quarters. So we're going to do on this one first. So storage room here, it's empty. Another storage room here. So this room, if you... that you won't get caught. And in here there is... I don't want to take the key, I want to take the goblet. Okay, what is going on there? I don't want to take the key. That is so weird. Okay. Hammerite Compendium of Precepts, Regiments, and Rules of Conduct, Volume 77. What is a tree but a tower that withers and dies? What is a pond but a cistern that stagnates and fills with muck? What is a patch of ground but a road which cracks and washes away? There's a lot of those compendiums around. Okay, I might just need to take the... take the key here and drop it back, it seems like. I don't want that key. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Good. So we took a goblet worth 25, total 575. There's also a piece of cheese in this chest that we obviously don't need. There's also another priest quarter there. You see that these upside down red hammer symbols are there. But those guys are obviously going to see us go in there, so they're going to catch us, so we don't want that. So we're going to go around to the other side, and we're soon going to get into the High Priest chamber. It's important to hit that room early because he has a key that works everywhere. But he has a window to his room, so we've got to make sure we don't get caught here. Good. And this room is another silver key and an apple. And I believe there is a... Oh, healing potion. Okay, we don't need that. I don't think there's any gold or anything in this room. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, so I'm going to make a real save before we go in here. It's easy to get alerts without hearing it really in here. The High Priest walks between his study and a side room next to his bed. So I'm hoping that he's on his way from the north now, and then I can sneak in behind him. No, he's not. Wait up here. Grab a bottle of fine wine here and a loaf of bread. We're not going to grab the loaf. There's a diamond here. And I think that we can wait here for him to come back again. So we grabbed a bottle of wine worth 50 and a diamond worth 100. Total 725. There's also a hammer on a pedestal over there that you can take and put into your inventory. That you can use to extend a bridge to access the talisman later. But we don't need to use it. We can jump the gap. So now he'll stop in there. We have to wait for him to go back around the corner by the bed and stop there again. And in the office where he's in right now, there is a bottle of wine, a hammer, total of 125. Those two are worth, and there is a gray key. That we need to take. He will not stop this time. But he shouldn't stop in there either this time. Go. Oh wow, he stopped where I didn't expect him to stop. Sometimes he stops turning the other way. Total of 850. That key is the only key you need in the entire mission. It opens every lock anywhere in the mission. There's a bunch of other silver keys, and those open select doors, but this one opens everything that the silver key opens and more. A couple of doors that otherwise you have to pick open. course I don't want to. There we go. We of course have to return that key, but that's alright. Okay, and here there's a tiara worth 125, and there should be a bottle of wine as well in here, yes. Total 1025. Okay, now we want to head upstairs. And we want to do that by going back the exact same route that we used. So these guys obviously don't react to me unless they see me do something wrong, so that's not a problem for us. So we're basically taking this route so that we can avoid triggering any of those conversations. We're going to trigger one in not too long, though. There is one patroller.
Even the Baron doth finally act against evil, when prodded with enough vigor.
Meanest thou the action on de Wall's thugs?
Verily. Some have told me it was his own brethren who in sin didst turn him in.
Thieves betray their own. Now, as always...
Okay, that is a very interesting conversation here. What just happened? It talked about the Baron took down de Wall, and de Wall is one of the wardens, or was one of the wardens in the city. Same status as like Ramirez. Now it seems like somebody had given him up, one of his own. It seems like he had been betrayed from within. And there is another conversation that is actually unused that I will play for you that will actually bring some more information on that topic. So if you bear with me here, I will pull up that conversation so you guys can hear it.
Hey, you remember when the Baron's police took down the Wall? Yeah, of course. And a buddy in the group was blocking the back alley. I hear it was Raputo turned him over. Another undermarket warden? That's slick.
Okay, so hopefully you guys heard that. So that was a conversation that was never implemented in the game, but that exists in the audio files of this mission. And it basically says that Raputo was the one who gave away de Wall. He probably tipped the police or something like that, and had somebody hide in an alley to basically catch de Wall doing something illegal in the act and then putting him away. And then Raputo could take over de Wall's organization, his part of the city. So anyway, I think that's super interesting when there's hidden stuff like that in the game files that you can't find in the mission. Just adds a little bit more to the atmosphere of the city. This is the reliquary, and there's a lot of items here. I will go ahead and read some of the plaques around here. The Sacred Skull of St. Yora, a builder of vision and devout keeper of the faith. The first hammer, symbol of our ascent from the trickster's shadow. So that we obviously need. We can't take that now because then he'll react to us. The Forge's Child. This hammer was the first to be cast out of a mold. It was brought into the world by Father Tenor, now sainted. So there we go. So we've now triggered one of those conversations. That guy obviously won't patrol, so that's good. So there's 2 patrollers now, should be.
Dolan have told me that his new...
So there's another conversation that we don't want to patrol, or that we don't want to trigger. We want to take this one, and that we're not going to read now because we'll read it later. Hammer Compendium of Precepts, Regiments, and Rules of Conduct, Volume 12. The builder gave thou the raw stuff of thy life. Make thou a great work of it, or thou mockest his gifts. So this is the prayer of the wall builder. We have to return that, and that can be very, very difficult. There's the people that need to have a conversation.
Of righteousness has justice been forged. If thou
We want to go through here now. There's another conversation in the cemetery that'll trigger if you go out on the balcony, so we won't do that. We'll instead go in here. I don't think there's anybody that comes in here. Let me double check that. Oh, they come in, if you have triggered some of the conversations, they come in here through that door, maybe briefly. Okay, there's a bunch of readables in here. Let me read everything. Okay, volume 36. Time once past, the harlot did say to the priest, Tarry a while, and wait upon thy duties. And the priest did tarry. And then was the harlot scourged with birch branches, and was the priest crushed beneath the great gears, for the path of righteousness leads ever upwards, to where it's perilous to fall. Okay, let me not read this one just yet. Volume 108. Mortar cannot hold when the stone is not strong and clean. Before beginning thy endeavors, look to thy material, both physical and spiritual. Volume 94. Guard thy tongue from falsehood, as thou guardest thy purse from a jackablade. Guard thy hand from misdeed, as thou guardest thy house from firelighters. Volume 141. When the builder came amongst his children and asked, Who is it that hath spoiled this work? Then didst his errant son answer, I do not know. Then didst the builder cast down his son and smite him with his hammer. For it is not known that a mistake may be mastered, but a lie lasted forever on the tongue. Volume 53. To use thy chisel is to blunt its edge against a stone. To not use thy chisel is to waste its edge. Volume 2. When the thief did cry to the master, Release me, for I repent, and shall do good all my days. Then did the master strike the thief's hand from him with a blade. And the master said, Go now and do good, for thy repentance has been paid. And then you have the temple authorization and access. Novices, as per the official books, are not permitted keys, and are not allowed to enter restricted areas for any reason. These areas are to be designated by the standard inverted hammer, or red inverted hammer. Temple guardsmen are not permitted keys, but may enter the restricted areas in pursuit of their function. Temple priests will be issued keys to most areas, and are allowed in restricted rooms when authorized by the high priest. They are also, of course, allowed in their own quarters, but not in those of other priests. The high priest is granted the master key, has no restrictions to access, and will keep in his possession the holy symbol of the temple. That is the hammer that we saw in his room. Okay, so we cannot get caught by him heading into this room. See the symbol? We just want to use the master key. I can't pick this door. I don't want to pick anything I don't need to pick. There's 2 bottles of wine, total 1125. A couple more compendiums. Volume 7. When the builder walks before thee and builds for thee a fortress, wilt thou go inside and shut the door? Or wilt thou say, Yes, and now I shall raise one of my own? Volume 199. A flaw in the gear will fade it to shatter. A flaw in the beam harbors the termite. A flaw in a man's righteousness encompasses his death. Okay, this one is also locked, and I think this one also opens to the key, yes. So this is information The cage containing the talisman can only be opened when the 5 locks have been released. The lock releases are placed in various locations about this temple. One resides with Brother Mason. One is behind the skull of St. Yora. We know where that is. One is in the kitchen by the oven. One is behind the rack which loosens men's tongues, so that's a torture rack. One is behind the keystone tree in the garden then. These locks must be released within the span of 5 minutes. When all of the locks are released, the talisman cage can be opened. Then he who removes the talisman must first recite the prayer of the wall builder, which we have picked up. So, I didn't want to go ahead and switch those keys until I had this papyrus, which is massive, by the way. And we could put it back in the actual footlocker, but do as good as we can here. Okay. Oh, they actually do come through here. I did not know that. Now we are ready to trigger another conversation downstairs. We had to head through here again. So it's pretty basic, pretty straightforward until we actually start triggering things here. So let me see. Now we want to trigger the one that is right by at the bottom of the stairs in here. And we want to head into the 2 priest quarters that are right next to them afterwards. Let's see. Yes. That's what we want to do. Let me actually trigger it from this side, because then they probably won't see me.
Hast thought upon who is likely to succeed our master?
Surely not for many years.
Art thou blind? He is old, and the master forgers do jostle each other for precedence.
I spy not on my betters, 'tis in the builder's hands.
'Tis true, 'tis true.
Okay. Didn't need to unlock that one, but anyway. Okay, so in here, wanted to show you there's another silver key. And there is a chest that is locked that you can also unlock with that master key. There's a person here worth 100 total, 1225. Okay, now that conversation they had about master forgers seemingly discussing who would take over after the high priests, supposedly being old. There's another unused conversation in the sound files that talks about the master forgers. Let me play that for you guys as well.
Master Forger Dovetail hath finished his work on the spiral gear. Truly, that is news. The constant with teeth, they mesh properly. As planned, this shall bring a new standard to the winding machines.
So it talks about Master Forger Dovetail there. It's the only one that's mentioned by name. And it seems then like the Master Forgers, those that invent new products maybe for the Brotherhood, they are the ones that are in power at least right below the High Priests. because if they are the ones that are setting a precedence for who will take over once the High Priest, which there seemingly can only be one of, passes away. I don't know, I thought that was an interesting conversation to put up. Now we got to head into the other priest chamber that we didn't access. Okay, I don't want to... Sometimes they alert much later. Because now there's 2 people or 2 guards patrolling around here. We couldn't avoid that really to get to these pieces of loot, so that's okay. Good. There, and in here there is a purse again, total 1325. And there is a loaf of bread. And there should be another compendium in here, yes. Volume 113. A stroke of thy chisel, once made, canst not be undone. But a stroke thou dost not make from fear is a worse flaw. Be not cautious, be correct. Okay, we're going to trigger yet another conversation out in the cemetery now. And then we're going to start hitting those switches, actually. Well, actually, I'll make a real save once we start with the switches. Let's see.
Some do say the Baron means to raise the tariffs again, even on greens and meat.
The wretched man serves only the merchants and his own greed.
His grandfather cared less for his pocketed gold and more for his soul's health, but no longer.
The builder's truth it is that men without belief do soften and fail as rotten wood.
Again, an interesting conversation where the Hammerites obviously have something against the Baron, saying that he's increasing the tariffs. And the reason why the prices are going up and people are having a hard time in the city is probably because there is an ongoing war between 2 neighboring cities, so-called city-states, between Cyric and Bonn. Those are 2 other cities in the surrounding area of this city, which is unnamed really, or it's just called this city. And there are no less than 2 unused conversations that talk about Cyric and Bonn, probably being the reason for this. So I'm going to play those as well. Those are the last 2 that will be played today. Let's see.
Will this famine never break? The stone market merchants ask yet another 1/5 above what they charged but a month ago. Yet I think they profit little from their sales. I would have said myself 'twas due to the war between Cyric and Bonn. The lines of battle do range over and past what were, times ago, farms and ranches. Thine arguments are persuasive and do show dedication, but I think thou may simplify o'ermuch.
So there it said that the war had actually encroached on farmlands, which obviously supply the city with food, which means that the demand is much higher than the supply, which pushes prices up, basically. And the last conversation comes next.
Here you got a pool. Yep, Cyric over Bonn, 3-2. And also when the war ends. Give me 6 on Bonn and 5 on another 2 years. Sure. Money now. Wait a minute. We pay you now, and you don't pay for 2 years? Never mind.
So that's obviously a conversation that was meant to be taking place between guards, probably Bafford's guards or something like that, about people waging basically bets, but in placing bets for who's going to win the war. But it also, again, talks about how long this war has been going on, so it's probably taking its toll on the people. And several missions also talked about there's a great drought, which also puts pressure on the supply of food, obviously. We're going to take a couple of pieces of loot here. This vase can be taken. At least I think so.
Intruder!
No, it cannot. Well, we can take it, but he can't see it. Then I'm taking it. If he sees me, let's see if that goes well then. There. So this is the... here lies Father Theol, a teacher without peer, yet ever a student of discipline. Here lies Brother Terence. He fought the unrighteous to his last breath. Here lies the unhappy Brother Dale, buried here as a symbol of lessons not learned. Can't take that one either. Here lies Brother Mason, truest of scholars. So here you guys can see that there's a symbol on it. Here lies Brother Wainwright. May his wheels turn forever in the hereafter. So we can take this vase worth 100. We can take this vase worth 100. Total 1625. And then we are going to end up heading to all the switches. You can see one is here. So let's make our wheel save. We have to do that within 5 minutes, which is not a problem at all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're gonna head to the... Okay, let me just see real quick what direction we're going to take. Yes. Okay. So this is in an off position. Garden. So this one we're going to have to be a little bit careful with because there's a garden there.
By the builder's hand.
Okay, so he saw me there. He has not seen me in the past. That is strange. He probably heard me, actually.
By the builder's hand.
That is very, very odd. Let's see. Could it be because he saw me earlier, maybe? I'm not sure. It could be, actually. Let me wait here for a little bit. If not, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay. Well, it worked there. We get a sound signal if we hit the 5-minute mark without having pushed all the switches. So we got 3 now, we got 2 more to go. Oh no, we're gonna go the opposite direction this time. You can hear the Inquisitor snoring, so we can't wake him up. Switch, and then the 5th one is past Inquisitor's chamber. And here there's a stack of silver coins. There's a compendium, volume 199. That we read already, right? Yes, we did. Follow that guy. There's nothing in any of these chests, by the way. Now, the door to the treasury is pickable, but again, we have the master key. There we go. That is the indication that it's all good. Now, for Supreme, we should really put these switches back, which might lead to a problem upstairs. I don't think it's a bust not to do that, but I want to do that if I can. So we might not be able to do that in the reliquary. But anyway. Now, in here there's a lot of stuff. What was that? Oh, that was probably just the 5-minute sound. I think we should be good here. see. Let me actually go check. Yes. The left gate is open, so we're good. Okay. I just didn't know what that sound meant since we had already opened it. Okay, anyway. So here is the purse. Here's another purse. Those are worth 100 each. And then there's a diamond, and this one worth 100. And then there's a total of 15 copper coin stacks. There's a total of 8 of each of the other types. Total 2308, that's how many we should have. Okay, now I want to go back and reset those switches. What was he running for? Somebody actually running? Sounded like. Nobody's alerting at least, that's good. Oh, okay, so I guess they actually do reset on their own then. Yeah, they do, because they were all on off. Okay, then I don't have to reset them. That's good. I can forget about that. Then we don't have to go back up in the reliquary either. Good. Well, we still have to go back up the way we came here. Let's see. We actually want to return the gray key, which we don't have to go back up to do. Or back around that way to do. We can just do it here. Now that can be more difficult. Because now we have a bunch of patrolling Hemrites around.
And the word went before him, on a breeze carrying our salvation. Here at last is a man with the mind of a general and the heart of a poet, yet also with the hands of a builder. He will lift us up from the earth.
Actually, I can probably do this while he's in there. There.
Thou shalt break.
Yeah, he saw that. Of course he did. Oh, now I maybe have done it, because I didn't know he was parked that way. Okay, if we wait a few seconds, we'll be fine. Oh, have I screwed it up now? Might be good.
Hildas!
Do that. I guess he doesn't see us. Okay. Well, we have to get out of here. We have to dodge the patrollers in the hallway, and of course the High Priest himself. He doesn't stand beneficial for us to be able to leave, so... we have to just wait. Okay, now I'm going to go upstairs and listen to the two remaining conversations. So we can hear those at least, because once we take the talisman, we can't hear those at all.
Dolan has told me that his new apprentice had released the cap upon the steam gyre and scalded himself.
Foolishness proves its own punishment, but steam burns are a harsh punishment indeed.
Dolan saith the boy shall live, but may leave the order.
More foolishness! Fear never shows the true path, only the downslope to corruption.
Both of those guys end up trolling, and there's one more conversation in the chapel.
The sinners we take would have no second chances. They were dispatched forthwith to explain their misdeeds to their builder.
Our strength and resolve 'Tis not what it once was.
And see what our weakness hath gained us. Crime and sin reach to the very heights of the city.
There's another piece of loot over here that we have to take once we get the talisman. Okay. Well, it is talisman time. Now, once we take the talisman, everybody's going to go into alarm mode. 3rd level alarm mode. Okay, so here's the symbol of the hammer that proves that you need the hammer to extend this bridge, but you can make a pretty simple angled running jump to get across there. Like that. And the gate here. Okay. Now, as soon as we read the prayer of the wall builder now, that's when the event is going to happen. So we need to be pretty quick about a few things that we need to do here. There are basically 5 more pieces of loot that we need to get. 1 in the catacombs, 2 in the cemetery, and then 2 on the upper floor. 1 in the chapel, 1 in the main foyer. Main foyer one is by far the most difficult one. We also have to return the wall builder papyrus for Supreme, and we have to take the stone hammer, the first hammer, from the reliquary. So there are basically 7 things we need to do at the end here. So that can be tough. Now it's going to get intense. I am a wall builder. Let my walls endure, from season to season, year to year, and age to age. Let my walls stand while families toil, armies march, and empires fall. I am a wall builder, and my walls will stand always as a shield against evil. This I pray that will the master builder grant. There, okay. Weren't close enough, I guess. Close that. Do that, you can drop down without taking damage. Oh, I did not know he came down this way. He usually comes down the other way. That guy right there we need to avoid. See us? Good. Okay, things are already completely crazy here. So I don't know where anybody is, so we just have to take it.
Thou shalt not hide forever. Cease thy games and face me.
I don't know what's going on there, because that guy is supposed to be running around. He's not supposed to be patrolling.
The builder shall guide me to thee.
So he will obviously see me there.
Thou shalt not hide forever. The builder shall guide me to thee.
He can't see me here.
Thou canst not stay in shadows.
Okay, there seems to be one guy there that isn't really alerting the way he's supposed to.
Thou shalt not hide forever. Cease thy games and face me.
I shall spy thee ere long. See,
Thy strength with mine shall...
Thou shalt not hide forever. I shall find thee and crush thee.
cease thy
First
hiding.
loot I always get is in the cemetery.
I shall spy thee.
Here. Now, there was a guy that seemed to go into the cemetery. I don't know where he is now. If he's going to return. There he is, okay. Let's go for it.
Cease thy games and face me.
Okay. Let's actually stand here and see if we can observe him. Gotcha. Okay. I think I can see what he's doing. He's going back and forth. So we can probably try to time him.
Thou shalt not...
So this isn't what I call super fun because you have to just try over and over again and there's no predictable methods. I found some predictability within it. So I pretty much know what I'm doing here, but I'm not sure if this will be entertaining, but I don't think I can do it any better, so now he's going to go back. Let's see now what happens.
Cease thy hiding, raven.
Okay, there he saw me. Could have been faster here, I guess. Yep, he didn't see me, because then he wouldn't behave like this. Yeah, 2608. Alright, now we have to go get the hammer. The guy in here usually isn't in here. Let's make another real save. Got that one. Nobody's in here either. Okay, so we just have to dodge the guys in the main foyer there. So that guy is also going to be a problem when we return the wall builder. We've done a real save, so we're fine. We're in good shape here. Okay, there's another guy there. They're downstairs, that's what it sounds like. There we go.
Thou shalt not hide forever.
Grab this one with 75, total 2683. If they change the way that they move, then they've caught you. That's basically the rule.
Thou shalt not hide
A
forever.
little bit easier from this side because then you can lean out and see. Okay, the two most difficult things are left, but it's going according to plan. It's happening exactly the way it happened last time. It's returning the wall builder prayer, and it is getting the hammer at the end. Nobody ever comes in here. That's the one without the little band on it. As long as we put it on the table, we're fine. So there, that's when he can see.
Big snake.
So then, okay. We gotta be right on the border here to do this.
Flatten this.
That's how you have to do it. You have to be quick.
What's your
there's a guy over there. There's a couple of guys over there. It's difficult to know if they're... It's random what direction they search. This guy right here always has this patrol.
They sneak out.
He only stays a couple of seconds in the wrong direction, you can see. Probably seems to be pretty far away, actually.
The builder shall guide me to thee. Straight with me, my brethren.
They sneak.
The builder shall guide me to thee.
Do not think thou shalt escape me.
Okay, so there I could have actually done it pretty easily.
They sneak.
Right? We get the same kind of system there.
The builder shall guide me to thee.
I shall find thee, villain.
There we go. That's good enough.
The builder shall guide me to thee.
Now the last thing is to get the hammer from the front room, and that is so difficult. Okay.
Cease thy games and face me.
Okay, the first thing. See, we can't open this door quickly either. Because there's a guard in there. Get a real save in here. Let's see.
Stand with me against our foe. My hammer awaits thee!
If we can get in there. Like that. And we can avoid everyone's gaze out of those guys.
Thou shalt find thee and crush thee. What's your last? Cease thy games and face me.
If you go slow, then that guy sees you.
Thou shalt find thee and crush thee.
Oh, wow.
Bringest thou thy hammer of righteousness again?
There.
Cease thy games and
We got
face
that.
me.
Nobody saw me. No, that guy saw me. Crap.
Straight with me, my brethren. Bringest thou
One guy saw me.
Stand with me against...
Okay.
straight with me, my brethren.
Might just have to wait a little bit here and see.
'Twas as your left.
Yeah, now that guy's coming towards us. Okay.
I shall bind thee and crush thee. Quickly, my brother. I shall bind thee and crush thee. Cease thy games.
Maybe
and
that's
face
easier
me.
once we're here. Let's try that. We've got a real save, so that's not a problem.
Cease thy games and face me. The builder shall guide me to thee.
Yeah, there. That looks like a good spot. Somebody was running there.
Cease thy games and face.
No, they're all doing the behavior that they always do.
Do not think thou shalt escape me.
Thou canst not stay in shadows forever.
Cease thy games and
Oh, every time they've seen me, they've come running, and they didn't go running now. So we should be fine here. Okay. Lock that door, and then now the big problem is... Oh man! The other guard isn't here. That is absolutely fantastic. Oh, he goes in and out of there. That's amazing. He always has been in there.
Thou should not be in the barracks, brother. Remember that novices are not permitted.
What kind of a cue is that to play now?
They're doing. Hold a minute. Ah! A spy! Sound the alarm!
I think that's just an automatic cue that he has when he detects something out of the ordinary.
Come
which of
forth
course
and fight me, villain!
Thou canst not stay in shadows forever.
So we need to get that hammer. Now he was in. Oh no. Okay. We would need to wait for them to both face away.
Thou should not be in the barracks, brother. Remember that novices
That's not
are not
from
permitted.
seeing me that he's saying that.
They're doing. Hold a minute. Ah! A spy! Sound the alarm!
Yeah, let's see now.
Shall find
let's observe him for a little bit.
Come forth and fight me, villain!
Oh. Okay, so he walks back there very, very far, for far distance.
Cease thy hiding and die like a man! Come forth and fight me, villain!
There, we got it. Nobody saw me there.
Thou shalt not escape me.
Come,
Nope. We did not get caught there for sure.
come forth and fight!
Great. 27:58.
Come forth and fight me, villain!
Now we just have to do the opposite of what we just did.
Come forth and fight me, villain! Do not think thou shalt escape.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a real save there. I don't know if we are safe permanently in that little corner here.
Do not think
Cease thy games and face me.
So basically what I have to do is just rush around the corner here and
Thou canst not stay in shadows forever.
Find thee and curse thee.
shall find thee.
Thou canst not stay in shadows forever.
With thee, my brother.
so that guy is hidden now.
Was your last warning. Take the... Was your last warning.
Cease thy hiding, Raven.
Cease thy hiding and die like a man! Cease thy hiding and die like a man!
Was your last
Thinking if I can go over to that shadow, I can lean in and close the door here.
Cease thy games and curse thee.
And we shall surely prevail.
How does he see me there? I don't understand that.
The builder shall guide me to thee. The builder shall guide me to thee.
Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Sorry, there's a lot of reloading going on, but it's okay. It's perfect Supreme Ghost we're talking about. So.
Forth and fight me, villain!
Bringest thou the... Cease thy games and face me.
There. There we go. Nobody saw us there. Awesome. Perfect. I'm happy that went okay at least. And we had a little hiccup there in the reliquary. I was worried there for a little bit that I would have to replay. I thought that the guard there essentially had seen me from before when I was in there reading the plaques, but I guess not. Okay. We can end the mission, I think. Over here. Yep. Okay. Good. Nice. Excellent. Woohoo. That was a perfect Supreme Ghost of Undercover. And we've now taken all the talismans, and we are ready to head back to the cathedral. So, expert difficulty, total time 57 minutes 23 seconds, a rather short one. Found 2758 loot out of 2758. Locks picked 0, backstab 0, no knockouts, no damage dealt, no damage taken, no healing taken, no instants killed, and others killed 0. Campaign totals, time so far 13 hours, 6 minutes, 16 minutes and 48 seconds. Loot so far 26,149. Total damage dealt 28 from the training mission and received 0. Good. I will give that mission a 71%. It used to be lower for me, but I do appreciate the change up here. And I do appreciate the whole flip of, you know, getting caught after taking the talisman and then have to leave. It is pretty easy to leave if that's all you want to do. But if you have to get the loot, you have to be a little bit smart about how you want to go about it. But I've done it a few times now, so it's not too difficult. So those are the few good things. I appreciate the whole change up. The temple itself is not very interestingly built. I think the design of the mission is pretty boring. A pretty small temple grounds, to be honest with you, and nothing out of the ordinary. It's the whole premise of going in undetected that hasn't been used before in the game. So for that reason, it works, but not more than that. I'm looking forward to the next 2 missions a lot. So hopefully they will be out today as well. And we're going to enter the cathedral first, and then escape, which is actually one of my favorite missions in the game. But they are very difficult, at least escape is. Probably the most difficult in the game. Okay, then I will see you guys back for the next mission soon, hopefully. We're going to save the game on this one. And I'll see you back later. Bye-bye.